Hello everybody, and welcome to another one of my modding tutorials. I am Player 1 from 1's Gaming, and let's get started on a basic block. So we're going to create a new class in registration called mod blocks. And this thing is actually going to have two deferred registers. So we are going to have a public static final deferred register again, but this time it's going to be block, and you're going to be sure to choose the net.minecraft.block. It should be the second, and then basically you're just going to call this blocks. And we're going to create not new. I keep forgetting that was recently deprecated. So we're going to say forge registries dot blocks. And then your mod ID. I chose RTM. You should have a mod ID too. Check your mods.tom or @mod if you don't know what this is. Now we're going to say public static final deferred register, another deferred register. But this is again going to be of item. You see, in the latest versions of Minecraft, blocks have their own item. So we're going to have block items as well. And it's going to be deferred register dot create. And just like our items, we're going to say forward registries dot items and RTM. So now block items just to organize it. Now let's go ahead and make our block. So again, a registry object. So still registry objects. We're going to create a registry object of block. And this is going to be I'm just going to call this test block. And then this will just be blocks.register. And the name I'm just going to say, of course, test block. This is a registry name, not the actual end user name. And then the supplier of what it actually is. So since we may want to do something special, just like with the item, I'm going to create a new package and call this blocks. And we're going to go ahead and create a class called test block. And this is just going to extend block net.minecraft. Remember, it has to be net.minecraft.block. And then we're going to want to again remove the properties, but this time this is not an item.properties. This is a block.properties. So it's actually properties.create. And then the material is the base material. No, this will not make it look like that. Just so I'm gonna make this a I'm going to make this iron material. And now we have properties, so we can change properties. Like, I can, for instance, change what tool is used to harvest it. So, like, I could say tool type dot, I don't know, shovel. Just make it have to be a shovel. And then, of course, harvest levels I will show you in a later video, but harvest levels basically refer to what level of tool you need, like iron, diamond, you know, wood, stone, whatever. And I'll show you about those in a later video, but and you're free to go look them up. They're pretty simple to go look up. But once you've got this, we're going to want to go back to our mod blocks. And now we're, of course, going to make our supplier. and it can actually it can't just be test block : new. Now that we have our supplier, we can go ahead and public static final registry object again, but this time an item. And this is going to be block item test block, basically the block item for the test block. And it is block items dot register. It needs to have the same registry name as the block, or it will work without it, but it's confusing if you don't. And then we're just gonna want to say, for this we're not creating a new class. We're gonna want to say new block item. And block item takes in the block, so block test block dot get. And then for the properties, the builder, this is item dot properties, so we can say new item dot properties, and we can give it rarity dot epic. Why not? Just because I'm never tired of making things epic. And I am now going to just add it to our mod group. Last video we covered how to make an item group, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it part of that item group. But as you see, I believe that what's happening here is it does not believe it's actually an item. Well, if I look at this, did I not put enough parentheses? I'll go ahead and check this. There's register. There is the block item here. And I put one extra. There. Wait, no. This is weird. Oh, it's a supplier. Oh, it's a supplier. I forgot I need to go ahead and give it a supplier. There we go. That's the fix. Now let's go to our deferred handler. And after we register items, we're going to want to say mod blocks dot register. We're going to say mod blocks dot register bus. And we're also going to want to say mod blocks dot block items dot register bus. And now that you've done this, it's time to texture them and give them end user names. Let's start with the end user names. So, we need to go ahead and let's make it a little section for a block. So it is block.rtm.the registry name, so test underscore block, and I'm going to call it test block. Now that we have that sorted, let's talk about models. Let's go ahead and create a block model, and I am going to call this just test underscore block.json. In test underscore block.json, we need to basically just, so in the block, we're going to say parent block / cube underscore all. This means that all of its faces will be one texture. And I'll show you how to do other types of it, of texturing with blocks later. But soon we'll make the block state. But what we're going to want to do is then, of course, add, again, textures but this time instead of layer 0, we want to say all. And we're going to again set it to RTM colon. We're going to say block slash and then test underscore block. Now let's create a block state. This is the thing with blocks. They're not like items, and you'll need to create a block state. And a block state is just, test block.json. And in a block state, we want to say variance, I believe. And then it is invariance, we want to just have nothing because we have no properties with it. And then put brackets and model RTM colon then block slash test underscore block. So this is a basic block state right here. Now that we have our testblock.json, it also needs an item model because of that whole block item thing. So we're going to say test underscore block.json in here as well. And here, all we need to do is parent RTM colon block slash test underscore block. That's all we need. That's literally it. Now we just need block textures, which, time to go back to our favorite program, paint.net. And in here in paint.net, we're going to go ahead, well, it looks like it opened on my other monitor. Give me a second, let me get this thing over here. There we go, here's paint.net. Now, here on paint.net, we're again going to make a 16 by 16. It can also be 64 by 64, but I want to say classic Minecraft. So I'm going to make this a 16 by 16 texture. And again, let's start with transparent. The block cannot have transparency, but I'll show you how to give it transparency in the render types tutorial. But all we're going to do is I am going to just go ahead and create a little block. So I'm going to make it black and not yellow, and have why not just make really small tiny text. And I'm going to make it say test. Yeah, sure. Not the best because it's 16 pixels by 16 pixels. Let's go ahead and save it to the resources as not item but block test block.png. Save this. And let's go ahead and head back here. Now I believe this is all finished because we now have our test block.png. So let's go ahead and load up Minecraft. Just wait a second for Minecraft to load up. And in a second we should see. Okay, prepare run client. And we should see our Java thing run. Up to date, up to date. There we go. Okay, this should be done in a second after it scans and does all its stuff. And come on, Minecraft, you can do it. Okay, Minecraft, go ahead and transform blocks. Whatever. Transform your blocks or whatever. There we go. Okay, Minecraft, you can load. You can load. Come on. There we go. There we go. So now let's go back to our test world where we had our test item, and let's see our test block. It's just going to say test all over it because of the texture. My beautiful texture. Definitely not beautiful, but if you were making a real mod, you were actually going to like put on CurseForge, you would probably make your textures look a lot better. But this is just for a test. I'm going to go here, and here's our test block. And I can build with test blocks and just say test everywhere. Okay. So this concludes the tutorial for our very own custom block. I hope you enjoyed.